Yan, hello teachers and good afternoon po. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. And welcome to our EdTech session. Hindi na siya ngayon muna, no? EdTech Wednesday. Siya ngayon po ay EdTech sessions natin muna, no? Okay? Ayusin muna natin yung schedule. I know, no, medyo confusing yung schedule natin nowadays, okay? But definitely, we'll fix it, no? Alam ni Sir Romel bakit hindi na ako pwede munang mag-EdTech session ng Wednesdays. Okay? Kasi po, um, teachers, no, kakatanggap ko lang sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Pasig and I've started teaching there already. And my schedules are Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. No? So, punong-puno yung schedule natin that usually hapon yung class ko. No? So, yun ang magiging mahirap. That's why, hindi na muna po tayo makakapag-EdTech Wednesday, no? For now. Okay? Pero, aayusin po natin yung schedule natin and soon, we'll have a more consistent scheduling of our sessions. No? Siyempre, magdadagdag din tayo pa konti-konti ng more sessions. No? Yung mga nakaplot natin na sessions na hindi natuloy ng Saturdays, itutuloy po natin yun sa ibang araw. Okay, so magandang hapon po muna sa mga viewers natin sa live chat natin right now. Si Sir Sandata Villarreal, Sir Romel, no, aking co-faculty sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Pasig. Yes, shout out po sa lahat ng mga manonood no, from pamantasan ng lungsod ng Pasig and possibly mga students namin. Sana makapanood din kayo. No? Okay? And from Sir Alex Javier Alvarez, kay J. Lord King Langtad, Chris Mark Jason Maggrubang, and Sir Aaron Olino. No? Okay, so maraming salamat po. Siguro teachers, no, bago tayo mag-start, makikiusap lang for you to share our YouTube link no, to sa inyong mga social media networks, okay? Para po mas makapag-invite tayo ng mga viewers no, sa ating session para sa araw na to. No? Okay? Pero while we're waiting, no, at habang iniintay kong i-share nyo yung link natin ngayon, at mas dumami pa tayo para sa session na to, yan, humabol si Teacher Locardo Magdarog, Junior. Good afternoon po. Okay? Meron muna akong tanong, no? Hello Sir Alwin, magandang hapon po. Okay? Meron muna akong tanong sa inyong lahat, no, to start our session for today. Okay? Kasi siguro para ma-contextualize natin no yung session natin for today. Okay? Gusto ko yung makita kuha yung inyong opinion, okay? Inyong saloobin sa tanong na ito, no. What tasks consume most of your time as a teacher outside of the classroom? Kasi alam natin yung mga tasks natin sa classrooms, alam natin yun kasi definite yun. Like you have 50-minute teaching time or class time, you have 1 hour class time, okay? That's definite. Pero hindi natin nakikita, no, which actually some other people, okay, also don't see, ay yung work time natin outside of the classroom. Okay? Kaya nga napareact ako last time no, kay Tito Mars kasi si Tito Mars ang binibilang yung ating class time lang, ano, hindi niya binibilang yung ating work time outside of the classroom. So teachers, ano po ito? Ano yung mga tasks nyo no, that consumes most of your time outside of the classroom? Maraming salamat, Sir Romel. Sir Romel. Kaya sana makapasok ang ating BS Ed 3 Math, no. Mga estudyante namin 'yan sa pamantasan ng lungsod ng Pasig. Sana may mga pumasok, Sir Romel, no, and then we give them a shout out. Pero walang bonus grades yun na pakisabi po, Sir Romel. Baka mag-expect meron silang bonus grades. Yan, teachers, ano po, yan. Waiting for some answers, some ideas. Okay? Yan. Hello po to Teacher Angel Jimena or Gimena. Okay. And good afternoon. Medyo humawal pa. Teacher Jason Duque. Yan. Good afternoon po. Yan, abangan natin. Baka lang merong ano. No? Kasi ako personally, habang naghihintay tayo ng sagot ko, share ko lang. Isa talaga sa mga dalawa, no? Yung nagko-consume ng oras ko sa outside of the classroom. Number 1, unit planning. Actually, designing of learning. So, lahat ng involved doon, no? Paggawa ng assessments, paggawa ng unit plans, paggawa ng mga learning materials. Yan ang isa sa pinakamalakas kumain ng oras ko outside of the classroom. So, bago pa ako pumasok ng classroom, madalas pagod na ako kasi ang dami ko nang ginawa prior to the classroom. At papasok pa dyan yung mga meetings natin, papasok pa dyan yung mga pagsagot mo sa email, lalo na pag may mga consultations, okay? So lahat ng mga bagay na yun, no, actually consumes our time outside of the classroom. So, kaya yung, again, sinasabi ni Tito Mars na tayo ay nagrereklamo, no? Okay? Sa 6-hour teaching, okay? Ay hindi niya nare-realize na hindi lang naman tayo nagtuturo, no? Basta-basta sa loob ng classroom. Yan, si Teacher Romel, preparation of visual aids and assessments. Napaka ano to, no, napaka time consuming talaga niyan, no, Sir Romel, no, okay? At syempre isama natin diyan, Sir Romel, yung pagche-check ng assessments. Yung atin pong speaker for today, makaka-relate later yan. Kaya alam niya kung gaano din kalakas kumain ng ng oras ang pagche-check ng assessment. Sabi din ni Teacher Romel pa din, no, research, consultation, academic advising, naku, patong-patong, no. Isa, hindi ka na lang minsan makaupo, hindi ka na makahinga, no. So, ang daming nangyayari sa isang araw ng ating klase, no. Teacher Aaron Ulino, maraming salamat po, no. Kay shared na po sa BSE Ed 4B Science from Palawan. Okay, so shout out po diyan sa mga taga Palawan, sa mga ating mga students, no, ating mga teachers din na sasama sa ating session para sa araw na to. Yan, dumadami na tayo. Teacher Locardo Magdaraog Jr., preparation of instructional materials, and of course, best interactive PowerPoint. So, gagalingan mo pa, ayusin mo pa yung aesthetics, no, ng mga presentation mo. Ay, minsan mapapabuntong hininga ka na lang kung parang kulang yung 24 hours sa isang araw para tapusin yung trabaho natin bilang isang guro, no? So yan, teachers, no, yung sentimiento rin natin, no, bilang isang guro, no? And dito tayo manggagaling para sa session natin para sa araw na ito. Okay? Ang ating tutunguhin, yes, buwan ng wika po kasi, no, ating tutunguhin at tutuntunin para sa araw na ito, no, ay tingnan natin kung meron bang may isang tool na makakatulong sa atin para mas mapadali. Yes po. Siyempre, mapadali na yung ating pagtatrabaho, no, sa labas ng classroom, okay? Para mas makafocus po tayo sa loob ng classroom. Kasi minsan, yung teaching time natin, kinakain na rin nung mga isipin natin sa labas ng classroom kasi hindi pa tayo tapos sa unit plan, hindi pa tayo tapos sa pag-check ng assessment. So, nakaka-bother po siya, no? Okay? And among others, no? Okay, so yung gusto natin gawin ngayon, meron po kaming ipapakilalang bagong tool, no? Although na-introduce na po siya last time ni Sir Alwin Reclusado, no? Briefly, ngayon papalalimin natin. Titingnan natin kung paano nga ba mas mapapadali ang ating trabaho no, bilang isang guro sa labas ng classroom. Actually, pwede rin sa loob ng classroom na makakatulong din to sa ating session o sa ating mga kaguruan. Okay, at sa question po ni Teacher Megan Alvarez, na meron po tayong certification para sa araw na ito. Na lahat po ng session natin sa Kaagapay Teacher Support ay certified. Okay? Bibigyan po kayo ng certification after the session. Okay, ngayon, ipapakilala ko na po ang ating speaker para sa araw na ito. Okay? Para po sa araw na to, ang ating pong speaker ay ang aking co-league, no, co-teacher sa Xavier School, no. Shout out din po sa mga taga Xavier School, both students, teachers, and parents, and of course, our administrators. Okay? So Clive Liwanen is a social science teacher in Xavier School, San Juan. He is a Rolljack champion, Wakelet ambassador, Ed Puzzle coach, an Apple teacher, and of course, a Diffit certified educator. Okay, so katulad po ng kanyang mentor, okay, banggitin ko na po na ang mentor po nito ay si Sir Alwin. Ito po ay babad na babad din sa paggamit ng mga EdTech tools, no. And katulad po ni Sir Alwin, si ating pong speaker para sa araw na to, no, ay tunay na ginagamit. At nakikita ko po sa loob ng classroom to kasi halos katabi ko lang po yan. Ano? So, na-observe ko yan at nakikita na gumagamit talaga ng mga tools na to. Hindi lang to para sa social media clout, no? Kumbaga, no? Hindi nga niya pinopost yung kanyang mga certifications masyado, pero madami po. So, let us welcome into our stage, okay, into our platform, okay, Sir Clive Lewanen. Sir Clive!
Good evening, Sir Franco.
Yes!
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here.
Kinakabahan ba tayo?
Medyo, sure.
Kaya. Ito isa sa mga prodigies talaga to, no? Kaya malaki ang tiwala dito ni Sir Al. Pag si Sir Alwin na nag-vouch, okay? Definitely, no? Malaki na ang integrity. Okay? Pero again, personally, kilala ko kasi si Sir Clive. Sir Clive, siguro lang, bago tayo magsimula sa session mo, bago ko ibigay sa iyo yung floor for the next 45 to an hour to 60 minutes. No? Okay, saan tayo nanggagaling? Bakit natin kakailanganin itong tool na ipapakilala mo sa amin ngayong araw na ito?
Okay, Sir Franco. If you guys were here po for like the last 5 or to 10 minutes, I think the contextualization that Sir Franco has provided earlier about where do we spend most of our time at, I think it is the most relevant context for our topic for today, because Diffit is an application which we'll learn later on, which can help us lessen our workload outside the classroom and instead focus more on the actual our actual task at hand, which would be teaching po of it. Sir Franco, okay na ba yan?
Yes, Clive, okay na yun. Kaya at least meron tayong context na. So maraming salamat. So I'll give you the floor. I'll be in the background. Okay, I'll be supporting you from the background. Teachers, I'll be in the chat. Feel free to chat with me. No? Okay, I'll be engaging with you throughout our session. Good luck, Sir Clive. And teachers, enjoy and let's learn together today.
Okay, thank you, Sir Franco. Again po, teachers, I am Steve Liwanan from Xavier School San Juan, and just like what Sir Franco said, I am his colleague. He's actually, we're working in the same department po, and actually he's really my mentor in the department. So sana we'll be able to fulfill or to to do well in this presentation. Now, for everyone po, Diffit, we're going to be discussing Diffit. So in today's presentation, we're going to explore it as an application. So since I think this is the first time Diffit would be discussed in Kaagapay, I'm going to be introducing it, while next we're going to be explaining the different pedagogical uses of it. So we're going to see how Diffit could transform the way we teach or the way we prepare for our lessons, basically improve our lives as teachers. Now, let me ask everyone this question. There are two GIFs in the presentation. I want you to describe the students in the GIFs. So, please chat in the chat box. What do you think is the best descriptor? The best descriptor for those two GIFs in the screen. So, how do they look like? What is the disposition that they have? Okay, we have an answer here from Sir Franco. They obviously the students have focus and they are attentive. In relation to this, we have my other mentor, Sir Alwin Reclusado, saying that the students are engaged. So basically, that's the idea that I want you guys to point out in these GIFs. So it's really important. I think we all know this as teachers, that it's important that we have our students to be engaged in whatever activity we have, or even while we are discussing. So the answer is the students are engaged. So thank you po. But how about if the students aren't engaged at all? So why do you think students would be disengaged in the activities or the lessons that we have? So students are disengaged because of some reasons that I'll be mentioning. First would be frustration and boredom. When students are presented with tasks that could be or that are too easy or too difficult, they may be frustrated or bored. So if it is easy, maybe they'll be like mentioning, oh, why are we even learning this? It's basic. Or if it is too difficult, they would be hard up. They wouldn't even bother trying to answer the activity at all. So this can lead to a loss of motivation and a decrease in engagement. Just the frustration and boredom that comes from difficulty or it being an easy task to do. Next would be lack of relevance. So we have it here, lack of relevance. If students do not see how the material or the activity is relevant in their lives or interests, they might struggle to find a meaning in it. And I think we've heard this a lot as teachers. It's so hard for us to make connections with their lives or making it more relevant to them. So make this may make it difficult for them to stay engaged and focused as well. We also have decreased self-esteem. This particularly for students who struggle with assignments. So like more on the difficulty of doing assignments or tasks. This might lead to students having a decline in self-esteem, and this can negatively impact their motivation and engagement. And lastly, we have limited learning opportunities when students are not challenged at their appropriate level. For example, you give them a task that may, like you give grade 9 students a task that is more fitting for grade 6 students. They might not be able to fully develop their skills and knowledge. And this can be a roadblock to limit to helping them achieve success or future learning opportunities. Now, overall, the problem is teachers often struggle to create engaging, differentiated materials that meet the needs of their students. And I think this was best contextualized by Sir Franco earlier. Now, what I'm going to propose to you is a solution. So the solution is this app called Diffit. So what is Diffit? Diffit is a powerful AI tool that can help address all of these challenges and revolutionize the teaching and learning experience. So not only will it benefit you as teachers, making tasks or making assignments or activities quickly, which can decrease your workload. It can also help out your students by creating differentiated learning, by giving them appropriate materials, or even challenging them further. So, what is Diffit? So, Diffit is an AI powered platform designed to assist educators in creating personalized, engaging, and differentiated instructional materials. So, again, this is an interactive learning platform. It helps us gamify concepts, and we're going to see more applications of this later on. And it can help us create a variety of engaging activities. Some key features that we're going to be looking at later on would be task generation, differentiation, assessment support, language support, and multimedia integration. But why would you want to use Diffit in your classroom? So we're gonna see. I hope everyone will be able to see these reasons, but here are some of the reasons I had in mind. First, it would help boost to student engagement. Second, it can help promote critical thinking skills. And third, it caters to diverse learning styles. Now, I think the best way to understand what Diffit is to learn how to use Diffit. So, how to use Diffit? First, for teachers, we have to have an account. We have to create an account, but we're gonna get to that first. Uh, After explaining step one. Okay, for step one, uh, to get started with Diffit, you have to choose your material. We're gonna in Diffit, and any material can be used as long as it is text, as long as it has a script like in videos, and the like. We're gonna see its application later on. First, let's start lesson planning with Diffit. First, teachers, let's go to app.diffit.me and start on the literally anything tab. The literally anything tab will look like this. So you're gonna see, just get the right resources for literally anything. You'll also have different options like choosing an article or video and inputting any text or excerpt. So after you go to the app, you could type in a topic or select a standard that you're teaching in the next couple of weeks. The standards for teachers here are mostly standards in the West. Standards in the West. So if you are using these standards in your school, feel free to pick these, but they aren't really necessary uh, unless you need it. Also, you could also pick a grade level and language, then click generate resource. Teachers, this is the highlight of Diffit. How do you make it different? How do you make differentiated learning materials for your students? Uh, you could see it here. You could change the reading level of what fits your students the best. So if you are teaching grade 9 students, then you would adjust accordingly. For language, if you are teaching English, obviously you're going to pick English as your language. You might also be wondering, does this work with Filipino or sources in Filipino? Yes, sirs, it does fit with Filipino resources. So if you're a Filipino teacher, you could change the language to Filipino. Now, what if you already have your own content besides an article or a video that you found online or a PDF that you found online? You can use your own content. So you could adapt or make resources in Diffit using all of the following. So we have article links, PDFs, YouTube video links, or you could just copy and paste your already made material. So if you created an essay yourself, Cheers, you could input that yourself in the interface. So to those who are following with me, who are in the app, you could already try finding an article or a video link and try it out, paste it here in the initial interface. Then select your grade level and language. Now, the Diffit resource set. So here are a list of, here is how Diffit will process the information that you are going to input, the links that you're going to input in the interface. It will create, the resource that it will create will include the following. We have a suggested image. It will provide an image, uh, an image that describes the article that you provided or the video. We have a reading passage. It's going to create content or a reading passage for your students to read in relation to the topic, a summary about it. It's also going to mention different key vocabulary that can help students understand the topic. It will create, and it will also create multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and open ended prompts, which you could incorporate in your lessons or in the final activity that you can generate with Diffit. So all of these you can edit or add more. So you are not going to be restricted by the final product. At the end of the day, Diffit also encourages teachers to customize your work. So that is our first step. Just looking for a material uh, or a video or a PDF. Diffit can provide or generate an activity for you using these things. Now, let's move on to our second step po. Teachers, we have customize because we have to recognize that teachers know best. So even if this is an AI tool, Diffit recognized that at the end of the day, the main decisions are made by the teachers, and the teachers know content more than AI. So how do we customize this? We can customize this through releveling the text, changing the reading level, customizing the vocabulary. If you think that there is a vocabulary that needs to be emphasized here, you could add it as well. You could also translate this to another language and lots more. Now let's take a look at how we could customize the resource set. So once you created or adapted a resource with Diffit, with step one, you can do the following. You could translate it by translating it by changing the language here in translate. You could also adapt it to a new reading level. Maybe you might see, oh, this is, I forgot that my students are grade 10. You could change the reading level to grade 10. You can also add more vocabulary. So if you think that there are other words that you need to highlight, you could add more vocabulary words here, or you could edit the vocabulary list here to make it perfect for your students. You could also add more questions to the questions generated by Diffit. So if you want more multiple choice questions, you could add more questions here, and you will also be provided with an answer key. Also, for our short response questions, you could also add more questions there, and Diffit will also provide an answer key for those short response questions. So that's basically it on how you could customize your Diffit resources. So let me just explain the interface for it to be clear for our teachers. You could check, you could see your Diffit resource library here by clicking My Resources. But once you click your resource, you could change the reading level here with the drop-down menu here. So from fifth grade, you could adjust it accordingly to grade 10, grade 9, grade 11, and the like. You could also, again, translate your text. So if you want to translate it to Tagalog, Diffit is more than capable of doing that. We also have edit text, show resources. It can provide sources from the adapted text, get student activities, which will be explaining in step 3. You can also copy the text that is going to be adapted from the sources that you provided and the like. So below this, you're going to be seeing your vocab list provided, your multiple choice questions provided, and the short response questions provided. So you have an option to add more vocabulary words. If you think the vocab here is not enough, you can add more vocabulary words, and this will be selected by the AI, the Diffit AI. You could also edit the vocabulary list if you think that some words aren't really important to emphasize. You could remove them. So, for example, aborted, you can remove that vocabulary word here in the adapted text. You can also add more questions again to make sure that they are just right. Add more or remove the questions, and you could align questions to the standards mentioned earlier. Okay. Also, you could see and show, you could show the answer key. You could show the answers to the multiple choice questions and the short response questions. Okay, now we're on to our third step, our last step, which is to get student-ready activities. So after you are done customizing what you need, the vocab, the multiple choice questions, and the resource-adapted text, you can finally export this to making a student-ready activity. So as a teacher, once the content is just right for your students, you can pick an activity to export it to. So Diffit has digital and printable activities for vocabulary, summarizing learning, text analysis, reading strategies, writing strategies, and more. And these can be exported to the following. You can make it to a Google Slide activity, Google Docs, PowerPoint presentation, and even a PDF. So to the teachers that are following along, I encourage you guys to explore the activities library and to select one for your content. So here, let's customize a student activity. You could customize the student activity by selecting an activity to start with and then customize. So in customizing, you could swap specific graphic organizers and strategies like this. You could add more activities to your slide deck or workbook by adding a section here in your interface. You could also delete and reorder the activities as needed, and you could name it and save it to use for future content. And after you're done, you can hit export when it is just right. So, yun, with that, you could have your activity. Where can you find your activity after you hit export? You could look for it in the upper left corner of your interface. So click on activities from the top menu, and you could browse and search until you find the right one, and click the activity, then add your content, and then you could customize the activity. So cheers. Let's try it out here. Let me just go to Diffit and let's try it out together. So yun. So in the interface, you can input a topic, a theme, or question here. So it could be anything, and you could input anything that you are discussing in class. And Diffit is going to be producing uh, an adapted resource for you, uh, based on what you input here. Another option, you could place a link to an article or a video. You could provide a text or an excerpt, and Diffit is going to be doing this or adapting the resource for you. So, for example, in grade 9 kasi, we are learning production and consumption. So, a part of production and consumption, we are learning consumer rights and responsibilities. So, let me just put that here. And I am teaching grade 9 students, grade 9 social science students, and the language that we're using in Xavier School is English. I acknowledge that in other schools, you are teaching social studies in Filipino, so you could adjust that accordingly by putting Filipino, or is it? Let me just find it. Or Tagalog. I think it's Tagalog. Yeah, Tagalog. So if you are using Tagalog, you could change the language here. But in this case, since I'm the teacher, I'm going to be selecting English. So all you have to do is wait for the resource to generate based on what I inputted. I inputted consumer rights and responsibilities, so we just have to wait. So teachers, you could see how quickly Diffit provided the adapted resource or the adapted reading passage together with an image. So yun, it provided an image relating to consumer rights and responsibilities. Of course, teachers, you could change this depending on the list that is provided. You could change it accordingly to your taste. So ito, I would choose this because I think it's the best image that can encapsulate consumer rights and responsibilities. So just from the text, consumer rights and responsibilities, Diffit created a resource or a reading passage based on that description. So here we have a passage that students could read for them to have consumer rights and responsibilities contextualized for them. So yun. So with that, we can we can view the sources that Diffit used to make this adapted reading passage. So you could see it got resources from Geeks for Geeks, from settlement.org, from personalfinancelab.com, and the like. So if you think that, or if you want a resource specifically from a specific website, you can add that as well, teachers. So what can you do about that? You can edit source and regenerate. You could add your own resource here. Wait lang, let me just, you could add your own resource here. Sorry, teachers. Medyo you could add your own resource here. Click on add resource and will regenerate the text accordingly based on the additional source that you added. So that's how you could change the adapted reading passage. It also provides a summary here. So it summarized the topic. So consumers have rights, consumers also have responsibilities, and the role of the government here. Below, you also have it highlighted the key vocabulary words based on the adapted reading passage here. So these are some words that may be difficult for grade 9 students to understand. So we have definitions here for each word, uh, if it is a verb and a noun, and how to use the word in a sentence. So for example, the word engage, how can you use it? The students engage in a lively debate about the topic. For practices, the company has strict safety practices in place. So you could also add additional vocabulary words if you think that the students need to learn more vocabulary words here. So you could pull keywords from the text, or you could add your own words and the like. So for example, I'm gonna add one more keyword from the text. Here, it generated a new keyword, which is providers, and you could just easily add more vocabulary words if you think it is required. Next, the multiple choice questions. Here, it created multiple choice questions based on the adapted reading passage. We have what is one of the most important consumer rights mentioned in the text? What is one responsibility consumers have to help ensure a fair marketplace, and etc. If you want to add more questions, you could just click on the drop down menu. If you want three more questions, Diffit could create more based on the text. Okay, so you could see I created three more questions. And teachers, you could use this in your tests, in your quizzes, but always make sure that you double check if the answers or the questions are correct. Now, you could see the answers here. Diffit will show you which are the answers to the questions provided. You could see it highlighted answer C in question number 6. For question number 1, it highlighted answer number C. So it's easy for us to identify which are the right questions in the questions provided, or the right answers to the question provided. Here, I also mentioned earlier, there are short answer questions that Diffit will create based on the adapted reading passage above. So we have here, what is the meaning of the phrase consumers are the kings of the market? What is one example of consumer right that helps protect consumers from being tricked by businesses, and the like. So again, just like a while ago for the MCQ questions, you could choose how many questions you'd like to add, and Diffit will generate more of this. So we have here our new question. What is the one way that consumers can benefit from the right to choose from a variety of goods and services at competitive prices? And of course, Diffit can show answers to these questions. So very easy to use and very helpful. If you want an exemplar answer to your questions, Diffit can provide an answer to the questions that have been generated. And lastly, we have our open-ended prompts. So open-ended prompts, these are questions that you could give to your students in these are questions that you could give to your students in the case where you're done with your lesson. Maybe help them you would like to help them think or wonder more about the lesson. You could give them these open-ended prompts. We have an example here. The text discusses the importance of consumer rights and responsibilities. Think about a time when you feel like your rights as a consumer were violated. What happened? How did you feel? And what did you do about it? So yun, from the adapted reading passage, Diffit created prompts that can help your students wonder more about your lesson and the like. So after you are done with this, after everything here is good enough for you, you can finally export your content to be printed out, to be made into a Google form quiz or to a doc. But let me just show you all of the export options. So here you have different options like basics, summarizing reading, vocabulary, reading strategies, writing strategies, text analysis, collaboration, and critical thinking. Let's take a look at the basics. So read and take down notes. The text will be provided here and the students will be taking down notes in the side. Um, just the basic idea of reading and organizing your thoughts. We have summarizing reading. We have the five senses, 3 to 1, what have I learned, and the like. And I'm encouraging you, teachers, to just view the different activities that Diffit can provide. So here we have a list for vocabulary practice. This is best used for our English teachers. So English teachers, Diffit can be best used in your subject as well. Also reading strategies. This is best used for English, for Filipino, or even social science, where we teach about key notable figures and the like. Writing strategies, Diffit already integrates different models used by languages or language studies like CER, ACE, and the like. And if you use these models, you can Diffit can help you create material easily. We also have text analysis. Ayun, from the text, the students will be analyzing the text and providing key details based on the questions that you have selected and the like. Okay, and lastly, we have collaboration. So if you want more collaborative activities, you can generate these activities and the students will be working on this together. So for example, we have let me generate one activity which is siguro ito, printable doc. Okay, I chose printable doc. After you select your activity, you can export the activity. You could select the elements that you wish to include. So you select accordingly and you would be generating the activity. So from the text of consumer rights and responsibilities, you already got this adapted text and you already have key vocabulary, uh, together with MCQ questions and short response questions. So from this, I already created a Google Doc with a text, an image, a reading summary, key terms and vocabulary, multiple choice questions, and short answer questions. So you could see how easy it is. You could generate activities just from 3 or 4 words. So cheers, I hope you could see the potential of Diffit in lessening our workload as teachers because we know that it's very hard for us to brainstorm or to think about activities that our students will be doing. Now Diffit can potentially lessen our workload. Now let's go back, teachers, to our slides because with Diffit, uh, with Diffit, we can anchor it towards a specific pedagogy, and I think it best fits the task-based pedagogy or the TDP. So what is this? This is a teaching approach that focusing on using real world tasks as the primary means of language learning. So why did I choose this pedagogy to anchor the fit on? So primarily, the task-based pedagogy is a pedagogy used in language subjects. But primarily, you could see that Diffit makes use of passages or resources, but also emphasizes on vocabulary. Primarily, it emphasizes on the language used and how well do students understand vocabulary or the lesson or the resource provided. So that's why I wanted to. That's why I see the TBP being anchored with Diffit. So, bottom line, teachers, we need to realize that it is not about learning grammar and vocabulary in isolation. If we can make meaningful tasks that require students to use language in authentic contexts, and Diffit can help us create this opportunity to make meaningful tasks as well. So let me just break down task-based pedagogy, teachers. So task-based learning or the TBL has these three steps. We have pre-task wherein students will have to engage students and make sure that the standards fit as well. We also have the next step, which is task. We have to provide the students with tasks. And as a part of this, we have to plan for the tasks. We have to present this and provide the task itself. Next, and lastly, we have to review. We have to review the task with our students and to check on accuracy. How well do our students learn, or how well did our students learn the lesson? So let's start first with pre-task. So the purpose of this is to prepare the students by activating their prior knowledge, introducing necessary vocabulary and language structures, and providing context. Luckily, you saw earlier the potential for Diffit. Diffit was able to provide a text and single out different important vocabulary, it also allows for us to change the language or the grade level that you want the resource to be provided to. So how does Diffit fit in the pre-task part of the TBP? So first we have task generation. So obviously, teachers, you saw how easy it is for us to create tasks. So Diffit can create a variety of tasks tailored to specific learning objectives and student needs. Number two, we have vocabulary and language support. So Diffit can provide pre-teaching of necessary vocabulary and language structures to ensure students are prepared for the task. And lastly, we have contextualization. So it can provide background information and context to help students understand the task and its relevance. So if you wanted a preparation material before you discuss, for example, consumer rights and responsibilities, Diffit could provide you a source to contextualize consumer rights and responsibilities. Next, we have the second step of the TBP, which is task. So the purpose of this is to engage students in meaningful and authentic language tasks that help them or that requires them to use the target language. So from this purpose, how does this fit in Diffit? So Diffit can provide scaffolding and support. So Diffit could offer scaffolding tools such as language aids or visual supports to help students accomplish the task. So you could see a form of scaffolding shown in the activity or in Diffit would be vocabulary, and this will uh, help them understand the overall lesson of consumer rights and responsibilities, for example. We also have feedback. So Diffit could provide immediate feedback on students' performance, helping them identify areas for improvement. So from the feedback, teachers, you could create Google Forms or Google quizzes from Diffit. And from these, you could get feedback immediately. Students could get feedback immediately. You could get feedback on your students' work and performance immediately, and you could adjust accordingly. Lastly, we have collaboration. So you saw teachers, you saw in the activities page, you have a list of activities that can promote collaboration. So you could select those activities to facilitate collaboration among your students by providing them platforms for group work and communication. Lastly, we have review. The purpose of this is to consolidate learning and provide students with opportunities to reflect on their performance. So we have assessments. So assessments, Diffit could generate assessments that align with different task objectives, and it will allow teachers to evaluate student learning. We also have feedback analysis. So after the students are done with the activities, you could double check if they are on tasks, they are on task, and if they are able to answer um, the way that you would want them to answer. We also have differentiated review. So Diffit can create differentiated review materials to address the needs of different students. So if you see a student struggling with the ninth grade preset of the material, maybe as a way to help them out, maybe you could decrease the grade level. Maybe your student may be able to read the resource the at the level of grade 7. You could adjust accordingly, export and give that material to your student. So you could see the potential of maximizing the fit for differentiated review. Okay, so let me just briefly mention my use of Diffit. So I've used Diffit in creation of quizzes, handout creation, and test making. In grade 9 social science cassettures, we teach economics, and this is a different field in contrast to grade 7 and grade 8 social science, which teaches history. So one challenge for teaching grade 9 social science is to introduce a totally new subject, which is economics, which means that students don't really have key vocabulary learned. We basically have to teach this to the students from scratch. So from with the use of Diffit, I was able to use or to create materials like handouts that students were able to use to help understand this new topic. This also I was also able to use Diffit in test making, in identifying what are the possible questions in terms of primary source analysis and the like, and basic quizzes. So Diffit has helped me a lot as a social science teacher, since it has deloaded me a lot in primarily focusing on teaching, and uh, let Diffit make the activities for me. Now, here are some use cases for Diffit. We have for reading and language arts. Diffit could create leveled reading passages. So according to your grade level, you could adjust the text accordingly. You could have vocabulary activities, different writing prompts, and comprehension questions. For math, For those who are teaching math, you could use math as well by you could use Diffit as well for math by generating differentiated math problems, word problems, and visual representation of concepts. But primarily, I think it can help teach different concepts taught in math. We have science. Science, you could use Diffit to develop level science articles, lab activities, and data analysis tasks. And lastly, we have social studies, where you could create primary and secondary source documents, a timeline, map, and research project activities. So that is it, teachers. I hope you're excited about trying out Diffit, because Diffit can help you a lot in your day-to-day activities as teachers. So, thank you for listening. Uh, thank you for listening. I think it's time for me to rest a bit. I'm a bit sweaty na, Sir Franco. So, I'll give you the floor muna.
Thank you. Maraming salamat Sir ano no, Sir Cleve, for sharing with us no. Sa comment section pa lang no, medyo hitik na ang ano no, pagpuri sa ating Diffit for teachers no. Okay? Pero kanina, by the way, maraming salamat muna Sir Cleve for sharing this with us. Okay, definitely no, it's going to help our teachers. Sabi ko nga kanina, isa sa pinakamalaking nagko-consume sa ating ano no, trabaho as teachers, yung preparation for learning no, yung pagde-design ng learning outside of the classroom. Kasi totoo lang, yung sa loob ng classroom kayang-kaya natin 'yun. Okay, kasi lalo na sa mga veterano mga teachers no, okay? Kayang-kaya nang i-deliver yung sa loob ng classroom. Pero yung pagde-design, okay? Yung pag-aayos, yung ano ng assessments, pagbibigay ng feedback no after ng assessments, among others no. Yan yung mga talagang kumakain ng oras namin na minsan higit pa sa work time. Okay, yung ng ano no, ng isang teacher no. Kaya minsan yung mga teachers nagdadala pa ng trabaho sa bahay, wala ng social life minsan, hindi na rin nakikipag-date dahil sa kakaturo, kakaayos no, at kakaano ng mga materials for learning. So that's where Diffit actually will come no, okay? By reducing yung time that we are going to spend on these things, okay? That will allow us to focus more on the actual teaching time. And that's what we want. That's what we actually all want. But again, as I mentioned earlier, teachers, hindi po tayo nawawala dito. No? Okay? Baka isipin natin, ay, parang wala na pala akong role no, bilang isang guro sa loob ng classroom. Okay? Lahat na lang parang AI generated. No, teachers, no. Again, we're just shifting roles. Kinagbabago lang yung roles natin. Pero sabi nga ni Sir Cleve kanina, no, dapat pa rin i-clarify, i-review yung mga gine-generate na concepts and materials, feedback, no, among others ng Diffit. And siguro, I'm speaking for all AI platforms. Dapat ganito yung mindset natin. Lagi i-review. Okay? So ngayon, teachers, questions, okay? Baka meron pa tayong mga katanungan or things we'd like to ask no from our speaker for today. Samantalahin na natin, okay? Although alam ko na medyo mas mapapadalas ngayon sa ating speaker para sa pag-share ng mga tools na katulad nito. So teachers, we'll be waiting for your questions no in the chat no, kay para po mabigyan natin ng pansin yung mga katanungan niyo po. Pero Sir Cleve, unang katanungan na muna, although nasagot na to kanina ni Sir Alwin. No? Pero may tanong kasi si Sir Romel Abali earlier, kay libre daw po ba ang Diffit? Yan.
Yes po, sure. So, Sir Franco, I'd like to clarify that Diffit is free, but actually freemium, meaning that there are some activities or some features that are locked behind a pro version. However, cheers, there is you there is a time period where you could use Diffit, the premium features of Diffit. So try it out now. How there's also a QR code where you could have an extended use of premium Diffit. However, I'm still finding it muna. I'm still finding it.
Okay
Pero
lang, sir. Pwede
just
natin i-share yan
touch
mamaya,
base.
no?
Yes
Sa
po.
evaluation. Yan. Pwede natin
Yes po,
i-share sa mga
sir.
teachers natin. So, teachers, gamitin po itong QR code na ipapakita sa inyo ni Sir Clive later, okay? Para po magkaroon kayo ng extended premium, tama no? Premium access para sa parang trial, no? Ng Diffit para makita niyo po yung full features ni Diffit at alamin niyo kung okay na ba ako sa libreng version or worthy ba na mag-upgrade ako, no, ng aking account to the paid version ni Diffit. Ayan. Pag-isipan po nating mabuti, teachers, no? Kasi definitely may mga advantages, no, yung katulad ng mga paid accounts kasi may mga extra features po 'yan. Sir Clive, pangalawang tanong, no, habang hinahanap mo yung yung QR code na para sa extended premium account, no, ng mga teachers natin, Kim. Kasi nakita namin ikaw ay DFIT certified educator. Paano
Yes, sir.
ba? Ano bang yan? Medyo nag
Sir, medyo ano,
Yes, Sir Clive,
sa
okay ka pa
emoji.
naman. Nagla-lag lang ng konti. Pero
Opo,
you're
opo,
still
sir.
here. Yan, yan. Okay na. Okay na. Sir Clive, tanong lang, paano ba yung proseso ng pagiging DFIT sa certified educator kung gusto din naming, alam mo na, magpatuloy at maging bihasa sa paggamit ng DFIT?
Okay, teachers, for you to be a certified educator, you just have to go through um, what's this? A self-paced learning module po made by Diffit. I'm not, I think you could access it. You could find it when you go through the Diffit website. However, ayun, I could provide the link to Futures, pero I have to find it muna. Ay, there you go na. There you go. Thank you, Sir Franco. So yan po yung link for you to be a certified educator. So I encourage you, teachers, if you want to join me being a certified educator, just go through the module Futures. Sir Franco, I found the QR code po. Let me just let me just
Yan.
share.
Yeah, papakita na lang natin and then the teachers can scan. Meron din ba tayong link, Sir Clive, or QR code lang ang meron tayo?
Maybe I can scan it and add the QR code.
Yes.
Add
Kahit sa chat
the
na lang natin, ayan. Yan,
yes po.
teachers, samantalahin na po natin ang pagkuha no ng ating free premium accounts sa ating DFIT, no. Sa katanungan po kanina ni Teacher Norhada Sampang, nasagot na po yan ni Teacher Tyrone Ko, no. Ang ating, according to the website, the subscription is $14 per month. That's roughly around 700 pesos per month, no, yung ating premium subscription. Pero again, i-try muna natin. Gamit po itong QR code na ito. Pwede po kayo makakuha ng premium accounts, no, mula sa Diffit para po matry nyo muna, teachers, kung okay ba at maganda ba itong Diffit na to. Ayan, we will be sharing the link for premium accounts until March 2025, teachers. Napakatagal.
Yes.
Yes. So wag na muna tayong bumili, Teacher Norhada Sampang, may libre po tayong premium. Nanood ka lang ng ng isang webinar, nakalibre ka na ng 700 pesos hanggang ilan 'yun? Mula ngayon August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March times 7. 7 times 700. That's 2,000. Mali pa yung computation. Ayoko mag-compute, baka
Noted.
mapahiya ako kay Sir Alwin.
Ay,
4,900, tama ba ako? Yes, baka
okay
tama
na
naman
yun,
ako,
sir.
Sir Alvin, no?
Opo.
4,900 yung save natin. Yan. Imagine nyo yan. Ayan. Sir, maraming salamat, Sir Alwin, no, for sharing the link as well. And to, of course, no, to Sir Clive, no, for sharing the QR code. Teachers, habang kayo po ay busy, no, sa pagsiscan ng ating QR code para makuha ang inyong premium accounts, grabehan na yan, no? Pressure sa last speaker yan, Sir Joseph, no? Yan lang naman ang masasabi ko. Pero matindi rin kasi yung last speaker natin, no, para sa ating EdTech session. Ano kaya ang sorpresa nung ating last speaker, no? Kasi itong last time may pasabog from Kahoot may pasabog, si Quizzes may pasabog, si Ed Puzzle nagbigay ng swags, okay? Itong si Diffit nagbigay ng libreng premium account hanggang March 2025. Abangan natin yung ating last speaker. Ayan. Ayan. Ayan na-confirm na ni Teacher Locardo Magdaraog. As I sign in po sa Diffit, may automatic po nakalagay na congrats. You now have free trial access to Diffit features until March 31st, 2025. Yan. Okay. Papasukin na ba natin, Sir Alwin, yung next speaker for next week? Ayan, wag na muna, no? Reserve muna natin yan. Okay? So, teachers, ayan, I hope that you appreciate that, no? Okay. Meron pa po ba tayong mga katanungan or questions? Sir Cleve, ito para lang in everyone's fairness. Kasi syempre, lahat ng mga binigay natin ng magagandang features, mga positive notes, no, kay Diffit. Pero alam natin na walang perpektong pagdating sa ano, no, walang perpektong tool, no? Bilang sa inyong experience, sa inyong paggamit, no, ng Diffit, ano yung mga bagay or mga kahinaan na pwede nating tingnan o ano, no, alamin para mas mapaghandaan natin sa paggamit natin ng Diffit sa inyong base sa inyong experience, no, Sir Clint?
Opo, sir. Siguro, sir, like while using Diffit, I mean, like sometimes it wouldn't provide, because we already have like a set curriculum po sa Xavier, so we already have what we want to teach. But sometimes if you input if you input a phrase of what you want to be generated, usually it's not what you expect. So like siguro it's not as accurate. AI doesn't really doesn't really know how your curriculum will play out or what you would want to teach. So I think you could improve this by being more specific sa mga prompts mo, or providing sources that you actually used in your lessons. I think that's one way for it to be more accurate. But also in terms of vocabulary then as well, I think there are some words that that you want to highlight in your lessons that aren't mentioned in the vocabulary list. So in the initial produced output of Diffit, it's not enough, but it's good that Diffit allows you to customize the work. So it's more it's just an initial inconvenience, pero Diffit also provides you ways to correct it. So yun lang, cheers. Yun lang po, cheer.
And in relation to that, no, Sir Cleve, kasi laging tanong ng mga teachers natin, lalo na pag sa mga EdTech tools, no, pagdating sa connectivity, anong requirements ni Diffit? Do we have to always be online to use it? Or nagagamit ba to kahit meron tayong hindi tayo naka-connect sa internet?
Okay. So you need to be online to use Diffit. So to generate the source. However, when you export your activities, there are a lot of platforms where you could export it to, like Google Slides, Google Docs, and you could also print this out. So like it's not only limited to online resource activities, but you could also print it out as worksheets for your students to do it, to practice their writing skills and the like. So as a process of generating the materials, you have to be online, but as an activity, you can use it offline as well, Butcher.
And sabi nga ni Sir Joseph Educado, effective prompting is a necessary skill. Actually, sa lahat ng mga AI tools, no, napakahalaga ng prompting, yung tatawagan nilang prompt engineering. Isa yun sa dapat mga tinuturo din natin, no? Kasi yung mga teachers natin need to also understand and also learn how to properly produce prompts para mas maayos yung mga results ng mga AI-based tools na ginagamit po natin. Ayan, okay? So teachers, I think siguro we can stop at that, no? Okay? Kung meron pa tayong mga questions, pwede natin yung ipadala sa Kaagapay Teacher Support at ipapadala po namin yan kay Sir Cleve Liwanino for further answering those questions. Okay? Pero una-una, maraming salamat muna sa inyong lahat at sa pagdalo sa ating session para sa araw na ito, no. And of course, bago tayo matapos at bago natin bigyan ng conclusion itong session natin na to, we'll first recognize ang contribution ng ating speaker for today, no. And we'd like to offer this certificate of appreciation to Sir Cleve Lewanen for sharing his knowledge and expertise in the recently concluded webinar entitled EdTech Session, Diffit for Teachers, awarded on August 23, 2024, signed by yours truly, Franco Nicolo P. Adun, Administrator of Kaagapay Teacher Support. Yan. Maraming salamat, Sir Cleve, no, para sa inyong oras, no, at pagbabahagi ng inyong kaalaman. Yun naman talaga nabubuhay ang Kaagapay Teacher Support, no, sa mga guro na katulad mo na patuloy na pinapalago ang kanilang sarili at habang lumalago ang kanilang sarili, no, ay binabahagi ang kanilang sarili sa ibang tao, no. So ayan po, no, katulad po din na Sir Joseph Gabriel Educado, Sir Alwin, maging si Sir Romel Aballe po, no. At of course, so shout out din po sa aming kay Dr. Ces Spirito from PLP din. And of course, sa lahat din ng mga estudyante namin from PLP na nandito ngayon at nanonood. No? Okay? Pero sabi ko nga, no, wala pong extra points sa mga taga-PLP students. Okay. Baka mag-expect na pag nanonood, mayroong extra. No? Pero marami naman kayong matututunan dito. No? Okay? Bukod na dun sa extra points natin. Okay? Sir Cleve, bago tayo siguro magkaroon ng evaluation ng ating session para sa araw na to, munting mensahe muna para sa ating mga tagapanood ng mga teachers, okay, na patuloy na pinapalago ang kanilang mga sarili at nagdidiskubre nitong mga EdTech tools na katulad ng Diffit.
Thank you, Sir Franco, ulit for giving me this opportunity to share Diffit. Teachers, I think everyone saw how game-changing talaga Diffit is. Siguro I would be happy if you would explore Diffit more, teachers, and share the wonders of this application to other teachers. I think it would be very nice to see teachers being deloaded with work, and just the idea of sharing this app to them will help a lot. So, yun lang, Sir. Thank you, Sir Franco. Good evening, everyone.
Yan, maraming salamat ulit, Sir Cleve. And of course, sa ating mga teachers na nandito po, no, okay? Maraming salamat din po sa patuloy niyong pagsuporta at of course sa inyong patuloy na pagpapalago sa inyong mga sarili. Kasi alam namin na habang kayo po ay nahahasa, gumagaling, humuhusay sa inyong larangan no, bilang isang guro, no, ay alam din namin na mas napapahusay, mas napapaayos yung pagkatuto ng ating mga estudyante. So maraming salamat po sa patuloy po ninyong paglilingkod sa ating mga kabataan, no, sa ating mga estudyante. Okay, maraming salamat, teachers. Ito na po, papakita na namin ang evaluation link, no. Sagutan lang po ang evaluation link para sa araw na ito at makakatanggap po kayo ng email no, mula sa amin no, agad-agad no, pagkatapos niyo pong i-submit ang inyong evaluation no, na naglalaman ng inyong sertipiko ng pagdalo sa araw na ito. Yan. So maraming salamat, teachers. Na po, papakita namin, pakibigyan na lang po ako ng abiso kung nakikita o na-access po natin ang ating link bago po kami magpaalam ng tuluyan sa inyong lahat. Yan, habang tayo ay Sir Cleve no ay naghihintay. Yan. Kumusta naman? Kumusta naman ang inyong first experience sa Kaagapay Teacher Support?
Okay lang naman, sir. Medyo very nervous. I was sweating, tapos medyo gutom ako. No, very gutom ako.
Next time kakain ka talaga dapat
Yes,
bago
kakain ako after.
mag-live stream. Oo,
Ganito
yan.
to.
Pero again 'no, nakakatuwa yung mga teachers natin 'no, na patuloy talaga laging hindi natapos 'no, the learning, ano 'no, continues, for our teachers. Because actually that's the only way we're gonna be able to really be, on the same page with our students, okay, to keep up with the technology 'no. Kaya nga yan nga 'no, isa yan sa mga, subject namin na Dr. Ses sa PLP, sa Pamantasan Lungsod ng Pasig, technology for teaching and learning 'no, na dinevelop 'no, by the way, yung aming, course 'no, ni Dr. Ses Espiritu 'no. At yun ang gusto namin ituro sa mga estudyante namin 'no, na napakahalaga bilang isang guro na sumabay 'no, sa agos ng ano 'no, pagtuturo lalo na sa 21st century 'no. Napakahalaga na sumasabay tayo kasi yan din yung paraan para mas maabot natin at mas ma-achieve natin yung mga learning outcomes na gusto natin para sa ating mga estudyante. Tsaka sabi nga nila 'no, to meet your students where they are. At kung nandun sila sa digital space at gumagamit sila ng technology, no, dapat nandun din tayo. Ayan, teachers, mukhang okay na 'no. Yan 'no, congratulations now Sir, Cleve 'no, mula kay Sir Joseph Educado for your first KTS session. Tandaan, itong dalawang ito 'no, si Sir Joseph at Sir, Alwin ay dito nagsimula. Yan, dito yan na unang, inalagaan ng kaagapay teachers. At kita mo naman kung nasaan sila ngayon 'no, na talagang, kilalang-kilala na sa buong Pilipinas itong dalawang ito pagdating sa, EdTech 'no, at sa mga paggamit ng technology sa
Thank
class.
you, Sir Joseph.
Nakaka-proud. Ito yung sasabi natin na ano 'no, nakaka-proud bilang isang guro 'pag nakita mo na yung inyong mga estudyante na ano na, pumalawig na, kumbaga sabi nila. Yan, maraming salamat po teachers. Kaya yan, mukhang confirm naman na gumagana ang ating evaluation ng teachers. Maraming salamat 'no. It's always a pleasure to be with you and, to, help you 'no, to whatever extent that we can in order for us to continue learning and growing as teachers. Magpatuloy po tayo, huwag tayong susuko, sa pagsubok 'no, at sa mga pinagdadaanan natin bilang mga guro. Kasi maraming mga estudyanteng nakaatang ang kapalaran, kinabukasan sa ating mga balikat. Maraming salamat po teachers. Have a long weekend. No, long weekend po hanggang, Monday. So maraming salamat po teachers. Okay? Have a great Friday night and long weekend ahead. Paalam po. Bye Sir Cleve.
Double cheers.